So I want you to think about any woman that you admire, and whether it's a celebrity, whether it's a woman that you feel is not so well known, but you admire this person. Oftentimes, we admire these people because they are fully in themselves. They love themselves. They have a certain aura and energy about them. When they walk in a room, they know who they are, and that is what we call authenticity, being authentic, and that in itself makes you attractive as a person. So many people try to change who they are, try to warp themselves for an environment, try to be less of what they feel is real or what they feel is true for themselves. Just picture yourself as a child. You were probably the most realist version of yourself. And at that point in time, you didn't care who or what defined you. You were just being yourself. And for that, you were able to experience life. You were able to have fun. You were able to make friends. You were able to be yourself. And oftentimes, children who struggled with having a social life or having friends or just being happy, it was because they were not fully allowed or safe enough to be themselves. In the context of being a woman, being authentic means being able to strip away all the stories that that were programmed onto you, that were conditioned onto you about who you are and your worth. It's more so about being able to redefine who you are on your own terms and not by what the world views as this is who you are. This is the standard of being a woman. This is how a woman expresses her worth. So being your authentic self means looking for what feels real and true to who you are and what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel like I can be this person, right? Because at the end of the day, we are not here to perform. We're not here to act like we are going somewhere in life. We are here to actually be. And it's through being where we are able to attract the kind of life that we want. And that's how you become so magnetic to the point that any room that you walk in, your energy is felt. People are able to feel that, no, this woman, there's something about her, something very distinct. It's not the way she looks. It's not just about the way she looks. It's not just about the way she talks. But even in her silence, she is powerful because it's an energetic way of saying, this is who I am. And I am so comfortable with being this version of myself. I love this version of myself. So it's about stripping away all the stories that are being sold about what kind of a woman you're meant to be. So many times in our lives as women, we want to fit in roles of the good child, the good daughter, the good wife, the the businesswoman, the woman who's making it successfully. When life is not really like that, life is really about measuring ourselves up to who we are every single day and saying, does this resonate with me? Does this feel like something that I can portray every single day of my life? Can I show up like this person even when no one is watching? And that is the most beautiful thing about authenticity, is that once you strip away all those stories, you're able to show up as the person you are when you're alone. You're able to show up as the person you are when you're around people. So the beautiful aspect about that is you're free now. You're free to do whatever, be whatever, and that freedom makes you magnetic, makes you powerful. One thing I know about femininity is that it requires expansion. It requires a level of growth, and it requires a little level of truth within yourself. It's not necessarily about an aesthetic or about fitting a specific role as a woman. It's about defining yourself, and that's how beautiful femininity can be. That's why women who are in tune with their femininity are so powerful. We see this in celebrities, women who are celebrities. They get placed in positions where they are in massive amount of scrutiny, but because they stay true to themselves, that is something that never sways them. It never puts them in a position where they have to shrink, where they have to question themselves, and that becomes their power. Now I want to talk about the wound that lies with not being your authentic self. This wound comes from a place of when you young, you were told or you were made to feel like being yourself was a crime. So immediately, when you were in a environment or situation where your nervous system was able to detect that being who you are was actually not safe, then you held back. Then now, as you grow older, you find ways to keep that story going, to keep that notion that who you are is not enough, that that version of you, that child that was screamed at a young age, should not be screamed at now. So we're going to hide that child. But the most important thing to heal those wounds is to allow those wounds to show up by just allowing yourself to experience life, because it's through experience where you're going to really detect how healed you are or how unhealed you are. And that's the journey of, I feel that's the journey of life in general, is that we are being placed in situations that are teaching us how to be more of ourselves, or how to return to who we were before the story started. So allow those versions of you to show up. And this time around, the way to rewrite the story is by telling yourself and teaching yourself and rewiring your subconscious that you are worthy as you are. It's not about expecting validation from the external world. It's about giving yourself back that validation and being the one to speak up for yourself and say, hey, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am worthy. I am worthy to express myself as I am. I was also speaking about showing the confidence to show up as you are. Many times we feel like I'll only be able to show up in certain areas when I've come to a certain point in my life, when I look a certain way physically, which is unrealistic. The only way you will ever grow or expand in your life is when you actually accept yourself, and when you love yourself and you feel this love, and that love that you feel, it emits out into the world. The world is able to sense this, the universe senses this, and the universe gives you more of it, because what's inside of you is going to come more to you. So you're going to experience love because you feel the love inside, you're going to experience it. So it's more so about being able to say, look at the stories that have been put in front of you and ask yourself, is this a definition of what my worth? Does this define my worth? Or was this just a story created to make me feel less than? So also another thing is, you need to also realize that the world is truly capitalizing on our insecurities. You must look at the way advertising is when it comes to advertising products for beauty care. These things always oftentimes speaking to our insecurities. Hey, fix your pimples. Hey, fix your this. Hey, fix that. Hey, fix your weight. It's never really in celebration of the feminine. It's never really in celebration of the body and saying you've got something beautiful, a creation that was given to you by God. Why not nurture it? That's not how we receive these advertisement, or we are sold things. It's more so about, hey, you're not good enough, so get this product. Hey, you're not good enough, so date this person. Hey, you're not good enough, so you must look for love that is outside of you. You are good enough as you are. And that's how you lean into your authenticity, is when you start understanding that i don't need I don't need anyone to validate my worth. I am worthy as I am. I don't need anyone to tell me that I am a badass. I am a badass as I am. Especially as women, it's very important to understand that you are powerful. You are a goddess. We bring life into this world, and it makes us powerful. We are directly connected to the spiritual realm, because our wombs connect with creation in itself. So when we try to measure ourselves up to this physical world, that's when we lose ourselves. But when you firmly sit in knowing who you are, and you are able to say, and say with your chest, I am worthy. Everybody, every situation, every environment shifts in that direction, and that's how you become magnetic. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you came this far, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next week, same time, same place.